Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to bring you a first impressions using the Nomad Cosmetics Orient Express palette. This palette just released this past week and it retails for $44. It's an 18 pan eyeshadow palette. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick with me. We're going to get into it right now. And before I get started with the rest of the video, I do want to just take a moment and say thank you to the owners, Felicia and Auntie, for sending me this palette. I won a contest on their Instagram and got this palette for free, so I am so psyched. Even without getting the palette for free, I think I would have still purchased it because I was really interested in giving it a try and checking out the color story, but I did want to say thank you to them for sending this my way. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so Nomad Cosmetics released the most beautiful palette. So it is this packaging right here. This is the outer unit carton, so you can see it kind of has that like roaring 20s vibes. And then on the back it says Nomad Cosmetics Orient Express. Velvety eyeshadows formulated with extra fine pigments for rich color and luxurious feel, infused with frankincense oil to help colors stay smooth and crease proof. This collection of 18 sumptuous and razzmatazz shades inspired by the vintage luxury of the Orient Express. And then you have the 18 shades right here. No, there are no parabens, phthalates, or mineral oil. It is cruelty-free and vegan. And the outer cardboard packaging is recyclable. So that's awesome. When you open up that box, you get this really beautiful velvety packaging right here. I would say it's kind of similar to like the ABH packaging when they used to do like the smaller palettes before Nervina ruined everything. But then this part on the top is kind of like spongy. You can see your fingers kind of like press into it. So it kind of reminds me of like the seats when you sit down into the seats, that they kind of like give you a little bit of give. And then when you open it up, you have this beautiful mirror, and then you have all 18 shades of this palette. I'm just trying to see if you can capture the real like beauty of these. And you can see that like from here it kind of zigzags up and across, and that gives you the route that you travel on the Orient Express. And then the rest of the shades kind of just show you are named after things that are related to the Orient Express. So let me see if I can swatch this out for you, and then we're also going to do a look. Bon Voyage, which is a matte blue. Paris, which looks white in the pan but actually has a bit of a pinky shift to it. You have Bar 3674, which is this bronze shade. You have White Glove, which is a white matte. You have Grand Suite, which is a deep hunter green shimmer. And then Istanbul, which is this very bright gold. In the next row, you have London, which is a peach to pink duochrome. Guilty 12, which is a beige. You have Simplon Pass, which is a blue to purple duochrome. Roaring 20s, which is a matte red. Alberg Pass, which is a champagne gold. And Baby Grand, which is more of like a chocolate brown color. In the last row, let's see if we can focus on the last row. You have L'Oriental, which is sort of a grayish brown. You have Golden Age, which is a bright yellow. Étoile du Nord, which is a matte green. Venice, which is this green to gold duochrome with a red base. You have Côte d'Azur, which is kind of a soft reddish beige. And then you have Nightcap, which is like a cool toned brown. And that is the shades in the palette. So now that we're into the try on portion of this video, I'm going to show you the actual palette. It comes in this really, really beautiful packaging. The actual palette itself, I don't know if you can see, but it's like kind of raised, and then this kind of like squishes down. I think of it more like the seats on the train, like how that would kind of squish down, so I think that's really pretty. And then of course it says Nomad and Orient Express. And then we pop open this lovely, you've got a nice big mirror, and then you've got all the shades here. So the ones that are connected by this line that goes kind of across here are the roots along the Venice and Orient Express. And then these other shades are sort of things that kind of nod or pay homage to that area. So I definitely want to play with this. I'm kind of wondering, I kind of think I might do something with this Venice shade here because it looks so like grungy green gold. Like, I'm really interested in playing with that. So I think that's what I'm going to play with today. I did just also pick up this little pure brush set. It was from Christmas this last year, and I think originally it was like $45 or $50, something outrageous, but it was marked down to $19, so I thought $19 for 5 brushes, that was a price I was comfortable paying. Definitely very, very soft bristles, and I love the handles. They're like, I don't know if it'll focus on this, but you can see it's like glitter suspended in the handles, so I was really, really into that. Alrighty, so I'm going to go in with my tried and true Milani Eyeshadow Primer, which looks like it's trying to separate on me, so it might be getting a little old. I did already do my brows, and as if you couldn't tell because they look insane, but yeah, I just look like somebody's angry mother right now. That's okay. Alright. So I'm going to go in with this pure, it's just like a domed fluffy brush. That's what I'm going to start with. And I think I'll set my whole lid down with Guilty 12 first. A little bit of kick up, but not too bad. There's definitely a lot of light shades in this palette, so that's something to be aware of if you're a deeper skin tone. I don't know how much like variation that will have for you. But you have Paris, which is a white shimmer. You have White Glove, which is just like a stark white. You have Guilty 12, which is kind of a beige shade. And then Côte d'Azur right here is sort of a kind of like a beige with like a little subtle bit of pink in it, like a very dusty pink. So that would be the only other shade. And then Alberg Pass is actually a gold, and then these two are like pinky toned nude brown kind of shades, and then this is just straight up brown. Okay, so that looks really pretty, just to kind of get everything set down. I don't normally set everything down, but I think I want to try that for this look today because I want to try some of these brighter colors. So I'm gonna go in next with Etoile du Nord, which is right there. It's the nice little green shade. And I'm just gonna buff that out. Oh gosh, this is pretty. It's definitely like a grassy green color. It's a matte. This one actually doesn't have as much kick up, so I'm not sure if that was just that white color or not. And then I'm just gonna very, very lightly blend that out over just under the brow bone to get just a little of that shade right there. I'm going to go in with Grand Sweet right here, which is this dark green. That's really pretty too. If you couldn't already tell, I've been really into like monochromatic looks recently, so this palette has a lot of choices for that, which is nice. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, and then I'm going to take a little bit of NYX Glitter Primer, put that down. I don't know why my white balance is so crazy right now, but alright. And then I'm going to take Venice, which is this really pretty shade here. Oh wow. And it's like that green, gold, red kind of swampy shade. I really like that. I'm just going to put that on with my fingers. Oh yeah, look how pretty that is. That's pretty. So I finished putting on the rest of my face. I used the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and I'm trying out their new little sponge, so I just gave that a try. It wasn't wet, I just tried it dry just to see what it would be like. So far so good. We'll see. I'm going to keep playing with it. I used this Milani Rose Powder Blush Trio. This is the number 2 Floral Fantasy. And then I used the Milani Afterglow Strobe Light Powder as well, and the Profusion Pro Contour, which is the dupe for the KVD palette. So there's that. Let's go in and finish up the lower lash line again with this beautiful palette. I think for the lower lash line, I want to do something a little bit like smokier. So I think I'm going to go in with Bar 3674, which is like this bronze shade here. And then I'm going to smoke out the edges with Nightcap, which is this kind of like deeper burgundy-ish shade there. And I'm just going to use this little flat shader brush for that. And I thought these little like imprints that they were sneak peeking, I thought those were going to be like pressed into the pan, but they're actually raised like embossing, so that's kind of cool. I feel like this look really makes my green eyes pop, and if my white balance wasn't turning everything blue, you would be able to see that as well. And then last but not least, do I want to take this shade? I'm going to take this shade. This is Istanbul, which is right up here, and I'm going to use that as an inner corner kind of highlight shade. As soon as I saw this palette, like all the colors, this shade right here and then the blue one up here really were the ones that drew me in the most. They were the ones that got me the most excited. So I think in future looks, I'm going to have to play with that blue shade a little bit more. Alright, and this is the final look. What do you guys think? So now that you've seen them swatched out, you can see how buttery, smooth, and beautiful these colors are. I'm going to go in and do a first impressions look right now. Okay, and now that you've gotten a chance to see this look, here are my first impressions. I think this palette is really, really pretty. I think the packaging is nice. It's very sturdy. I do appreciate the mirror that's included. The colors, I feel like the actual powders are very, very soft. I think you have a good variety of different colors here. However, there are several light shades. So you have Paris, Guilty 12, White Glove, and Côte d'Azur, as well as Alberg Pass, that are all very, very light. And so for somebody that's like a dark or a deep dark skin tone, I don't know how well those shades are going to show up and if those are going to be kind of redundant. In the pan, they look very different, but on somebody of a deeper skin tone, they may not necessarily hold that same difference in color. I do really appreciate the greens, the blues. I mean, this color is so, so pretty, as is this one. I really like this one because it's like glitzy and glam, but it's also like kind of grungy. So you can kind of go a couple different directions with that. And then I like these shades over here, kind of remind me of like those rosy gold kind of shades, or rose, like dusty rose shades that you would see like in pantyhose kind of colors. That's kind of what it reminded me of. And I think you can make a really, really pretty soft glam look with those. So I think you can go a couple different directions with this palette. Again, it's $44, it's 18 shades, so I think price wise it's a decent price, but it may not necessarily be for every skin tone. With that said, I am super happy and super excited to have won this from Nomad Cosmetics. If I didn't already tell you, they had a like trivia set of clues that they put out to honor the release of this palette, and I was able to guess the location of this on their first clue. So the owner had contacted me and said that I won the giveaway that they did, and sent this to me. So I am super, super excited, and I want to thank the Nomad team for sending this my way because I really, really appreciate it, and I'm so excited to have it. So yeah, I think that concludes this video. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to catch you in my next one. Bye!